185 Miles South, a hardcore punk rock podcast.
Hey everyone, we're back. This is recorded on April 23rd, 2019. I had Guzman on a couple interviews ago, Anthony Guzman, and a couple of things. First off, he remembered how he got into punk, so he wanted to come back on and tell that story. And then also, a couple of things. Yeah, I told him that that's cool, you can come back on, but I don't know if his personality came out that much last time, and he's one of the funniest motherfuckers in the world. So I got, his best friend Vince is here, and Vince is gonna tell a story about Guzman, and then depending on what Vince tells, Guzman gets to go back at him however hard he wants, and then we'll go on until they're done telling stories. But let's start this off with Guzman. He's back, and before you're getting the punk story was rad though, because you basically had this, a friend's older brother that had like this vast library of music. It's like you're the Smithsonian of punk. How can it be better than that?
Yeah, I mean it was kind of at the same time, if not a little bit before that. From church, like the church I grew up in is very.
All right, we're back again. We got distracted. We record this at the business that we run here, so sometimes people come in and out. Anyway, goes back to it. The church.
Oh yeah, the church. My dad was a pastor of a church, and it's rehab oriented. Orientated, is that the word?
Oriented.
Yeah. Am I talking too low still?
Nah, but you can always talk louder.
Yeah, it's basically based around rehab and reaching out to like gang members and stuff. That's what I grew up in, is that church, and so I always live with people, or people live with us, whatever. It's all like about rehab, and that's where my family comes from. Anyway, there was a dude who was in the rehab home for a few years, or a year, whatever they do, and he was also, when he got out of the rehab home, he lived in the same apartments as my friend Gustavo. So we knew him. He was older, he was a nice, cool dude, older Japanese dude. And one thing led to another. We were kids, and he would just give me tapes, he'd give me Nirvana tape, whatever. What happened was he found out I was into Black Sabbath. That's what it was. And he thought that was rare because all the kids were little homie kids and into rap and shit. And I think that's how he started talking to me. And he's like, "Oh, you're into this stuff, huh?" And then, so one thing led to another. And he gave me a tape as the Stooges, that type of shit, the Cramps. But I didn't really relate it to whatever. It just was like weird shit. And I liked it. So, whatever. Fast forward, he would just kind of be, he's going to the church, like a rehab dude. He was in prison for years. Then finally he's like, "Hey, this is the band I was in." And he gave me a tape, and it was the Morlocks. He gave me a CD and a tape. And then he was in the Gravedigger 5 too, which is like old 80s garage rock San Diego stuff. So whatever, I still didn't even understand what the fuck this was. But I just thought it was interesting because during this time I was reading, I looked him up later in life. His name's Leighton Koizumi. And during the time he was in rehab and all that, everyone thought he was dead. I guess they have a big following, like the Gravedigger 5 and all that shit in that Bomp Records world. So everyone thought he was dead, that he OD'd and some crazy thing, but he was really just getting clean and shit. So during that, we became pretty cool, and he would take me and my friend and took us off the record for the first time. And then that's kind of when I would see Unbroken. I remember I bought an Unbroken record, and then later I connected that when I met my friend's brother. So I just thought that was a little more interesting.
That's cool, and that's a cool tie-in too with Bomp, right? Because Bomp actually put out the 7-inch of the 1977 Chula Vista punk band, the Zeros. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. And later when I got into more punk, we'd talk, and I don't know where the fuck he's at nowadays, but he was like, he was like, he's in the, you could see him in the decline,
like he's like an old punk dude, you know, like it's pretty fucking crazy. But he went on. I think when he went to prison with drugs, like all those old punkers, he kind of like, I wouldn't say he became like a homie or whatever, but you know, like he was showing me pictures. He's like all swole and he looks like just a gangster and shit. So I think a lot of those dudes end up like that, you know, like got into heroin and went to prison and all that shit. So, but anyways, I give credit to that guy, kind of blowing my mind because all I was into was like, you know, I wanted to be like I was like a little wannabe homie.
Yeah, that was a good.
He kind of tripped me out with the cramps and, you know.
Yeah, that's a good entry story. Better than mine. But, all right.
That's all. I just thought that was a little interesting. I wanted to give that guy credit.
No, I think that guy deserves credit. And I love the bump tie-in, too.
Yeah.
Because the Zeros, I like the second 7-inch more than the first one, but that's pretty legit to have, like, a legit 1977 band, like, from your town, you know?
Yeah. And I think they just left to play in LA, really, probably, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if there's nothing down here, you know, but... I mean, the closest Nard had would have been the Rotters, and I don't know if they were like 77 or if they were 78 or 79. I'll find out in the. Yeah. I'm going to interview Tony Cortez this weekend, and he'll be able to give me the skinny on that. But they were actually from Camarillo anyway, so close enough. But yeah, next door. So
I bet Tim probably has cool Zeros stories.
Yeah, I'm gonna interview Tim in 2 Saturdays. And that'll be good. All right, so that was Guzman's entry to punk, and now we're going to bring Vince over here to tell a story about Guzman so we can learn more about him. So step on up into the hot seat, Vince, and tell a story that doesn't end Guzman's 10-year relationship or land him in jail.
Let me see here. I forgot what show it was at the Che, and... I forgot who was playing, but it might have been the plot towards the Eiffel Tower's like last show or something like that. And Guzman got into it with some guy, and they had to break it up. And the guy has a bottle inside his jacket, and he's like pretending like he's gonna like use it on Guzman. And they're breaking it up and shit, and it gets all heated. Like everyone's like kind of like trying to calm things out. It's all chaotic, and the guy's like, "Don't mess with me, I'm from Texas. Don't mess with me, I'm from Texas." And in the confusion of it all, I don't know, it must have been like 2 seconds. Guzman's out back, like stepping on the dude's face, like straight up, just like he beat the shit out of him already, and he was like, by that point, the guy, he was like you know the leaves back in the chair, like it's all leafy.
Yeah,
you could just hear it, and it was like. I thought that was like a pretty funny story, and because I don't mess with Texas was also at the time like Bush was president, so it was like I just thought it was pretty fucking funny. Don't mess with you from Texas.
Hey, fuck the Astros, huh? Go Dodgers.
And then shit, I'm trying to think of. I had another one.
Well, why don't let's bring Goose back over now, and he's gonna tell a story about Vince, and then Vince can think about his next Guzman story.
I got a good one. Oh, and yeah, disclaimer. That was the only time I've ever been in a fight at the Che, and of course it was during that show. Like not even a show where fights don't happen. Like,
what kind of band was that?
It's like weird. There's a saxophone. It's like weird shit. Like
okay.
There shouldn't be fights at the shows.
I think the plot played with Terror once also.
Yeah,
okay.
I think maybe those mixed shows or whatever. But I like the plot. It was a dude that he played drums in and find him and kill him.
Okay.
But and they're in that band Crocodiles. Now you heard of them?
Nah.
Whatever. But no one gets in a fight at the show. Like that's why it's embarrassing to me.
Hey, don't mess with Texas, man.
But I got a funny one. And you are familiar with this one. You were there, but I don't know if you know this quote.
Go on.
At the In Control, it was In Control reunion at Ventura Theater. No, not theater. What was the one?
At that big ass hall? Did Ill Repeat play?
Yeah, Ill Repeat play.
Okay, yeah, that was like the In Control reunion at God, that would have been 2009, so 10 years ago.
Oh shit!
I think it was 5 years after we broke up, and we broke up in 2004.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2009.
So at that, how did this fucking start? Whatever. It was huge, and Well, how many kids do you think?
It's like 800 kids.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. So we all roll up, all our friends from San Diego, South Bay, and Chula Vista. And I don't remember what happened. I was just watching. It might have been during Take Offense. And I'm just watching them just to the side or whatever. I don't even know what's going on. And I see, you know when you can see the fucking, something's happening.
Yeah.
Like people are moving weird.
A ripple.
They weren't like
ripple in the crowd.
Slamming or moshing or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? So I already know the fucking people I'm with. So I go and I'm like, oh fuck, what is this? And then, it's just a melee, and it's just some group versus everyone I know. So it's a big fight. And I don't really know what's going on. It was like, when I get up, maybe I swing at one guy or something stupid, like it was over.
Yeah.
And then everyone's separated and pulling each other apart, and we all go outside. Did the show stop?
I can't remember. It got broken up during In Control because the cops finally showed up. But I don't know. It didn't get shut down for fighting.
Okay, yeah. So after your set, or Take Offense set, or whatever, everyone's pushed outside. And
that's right, because a bunch of people went outside, and then a bunch of those people couldn't get back in.
Yeah, like I don't think I got in for you guys.
Yeah.
Like everyone got pulled out, security or whatever. And we're outside, and we're start talking, and it was basically you were telling people, like, hey man, both you were like kind of chilling everyone out. It was all these Oxnard dudes that we were fighting with. And I don't even remember why. It was some smosh, some bullshit pit beef.
Pit beef.
Yeah. So we're fighting with the locals, and they're not going to have that. So it was a melee. So anyways, the one guy's like, yeah, man, fucking whatever, it's all good. And we everyone squashed it, realized it was stupid. Everyone was Zach's friend. But one dude was like, yeah, man, I don't know, man. Whatever, it's all good, blah, blah, but who the fuck fucking bites somebody, man? Who's fucking biting my head? Whatever, and he just like look, like you just pan over to Vince's face, like, oh, fuck. And I was like, who the fuck bites someone's fucking head? That's fucking crazy. Like, he was kind of laughing himself because he looked like a psycho, Yeah, but that's a good one for me. It's like, you can see the guilt in Vince's face. Like, I knew immediately it was Vince was biting his fucking skull. So
that's a good one, man. I don't really remember anything from that show. I think I was so nervous. Like, I think I had to have like Max change my strings. Like, I was like shaky.
There was like, it seemed like a million people in there.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like that real old school vibe, and it was so fun to get to see Ill Repute in a room like that big and that packed.
Yeah, everyone was like going nuts.
Yeah, it was super sick. All right, well, let's bring Vince back over to tell a Guzman story. Can you top that one, dude? Of you biting some fool?
Yeah, I think.
Who'd you bite? Which one of my friends did you bite, dude?
I don't know.
That's fucked up.
He was like he was actually really cool. We talked after I bit him, and he was actually super nice. And he was like he was hugging me after and shit. He was like, "Oh, it's all good, man. I know what it's like." And I was like, "Okay." Like, I felt really bad after. I just bite because I was scared. Like, they were on top of me, so I was like, I'm just gonna bite him, like a scared dog, and probably gonna pee on him or something like that. But we were at a bar one time, and we were all drunk, and we come out, we're having like body shots.
How long ago was this?
This was like over 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, this is way.
You're talking about what I think you're talking about.
12 years ago, 13 years ago maybe, and we're at this bar.
No, I was like 21 or some shit. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
So we're playing body shots after, and we're like, I feel we're like in Hillcrest somewhere, and these guys run up, and they act like they're gonna like hit us. So I turn around, and I was like, well, what's up? You guys want to go? And they're like, oh, no, man, like, you guys playing body shots? Or I was like, who the fuck are you?
Hey, you should say, because, like, that sounds pretty funny. Like, you coming out of a bar, like, you guys doing body shots off each other? No, you were, like, socking each other in the stomach.
Yeah, we're just punching each other's bodies.
Yes.
Like, yes. Dumb, drunk idiots.
Yeah, so you're socking up each other.
Yeah, we're socking each other up, just, like, joking around. And these guys run up, and I thought they were gonna like start hitting us. Like, I was like, I don't know you guys. So like, one of the guys has glasses, and he started saying like, "Oh well, we're from Brooklyn. You guys freestyle." And then Guzman says, "Fuck Brooklyn. We're from Chula Vista." And then like I started laughing, and the guys got all serious, like they got all sad. And then the guy with the glasses just kept staring at Guzman, and then Guzman kept telling him, The fuck you looking at, Millhouse? And I started dying. So then they got all quiet and they backed out. They're leaning against the wall. And like we kind of left. And I got in my friend's truck, my friend Brian's truck, and we pulled off. And I was like, you know what? Go back. And he goes, why? Just go back, dude. Like, just go back. So he got kind of mad. We go back, and when like we pull up, Guzman's fighting like all three of the dudes. Like he's beating the shit out of us. So I get out, I rough one up, and they separate it. And the guys are like, "Why'd you hit her?" Like, they're like crying almost.
Yeah.
And then Guzman pulls out a little nub screwdriver, those little like 1-inch nub ones, like you know. And from like 20 feet away, like throws it and hits the dude with the glasses in the eye with it. What? Yeah, like it was like a perfect shot, like a beam, like flink, like, bang, like right in the eye. The guy was like, ah! And then we all started laughing. We drove off, but it was like three classic like fuck Brooklyn. We're from Chula Vista. Shut up, like called the Millhouse, and he throws a screwdriver at the dude's face. Like the guy just took like three L's in a row. Like it was pretty funny.
I thought I remember that story. Like those dudes, like when they squared up, like they challenged you to like a rap battle.
Yeah, that's always you guys freestyle.
Yeah,
you guys freestyle. We're from Brooklyn. We're from Brooklyn. That's like fuck Brooklyn. We're from Chula Vista. Yeah. Should be in a movie.
All right, let's just switch it up. You got another one on Vince? Goose?
Yeah, I got fucking 8,000, but...
Alright, well, let's keep it going.
They gotta at least be funny, because if it's just brutality. But, to defend myself, it didn't, like, that could have been bad. It could have went in his eye or something, you know? That fuck. But, yeah, I don't know. And they were corny. They were just trying to do the New York thing, but they weren't really New York guys, or else they would have beat us up, or you know, they would have fought us. But what the fuck was? Oh, okay, another Vince thing. Fuck, there's quite a few. Oh, here's one why Vince is dumb. Like Vince, there was a party at my friend's house. You know, I was probably like 20 or something, and these guys, you know, a big party, just like all his friends from school and all that stuff, and there was these dudes in there, you know, back when you go to a party and there's strangers, like,
sure,
young, and they started smoking in the house, like, just smoking a fucking joint, and, you know, without asking, like, no one knew them.
Yeah.
So my friend Brian, it was his house, and he fucking, you know, he's like, hey, can you guys stop? And they're just literally, like, blowing the smoke in his face, like, ignoring him, you know?
He has them take it outside.
Yeah, he's like, can you guys, you know, go smoke in the back or whatever? And I was like, and I caught on to it, and he's like, you know, he's a nice kid. He's like, never gonna, it's not confrontational.
Right.
And I was like, hey, man, go outside, dude. This ain't your house. You know, like, it was just kind of immediate reaction to, like, the guy couldn't believe it.
Of course.
And he's like, dude, what you gotta do, dog? You know? And he's like, got plugs. Like, he's not a gangster or nothing.
Right.
He's a metalcore guy. You know, this is 2003 or something, you know?
Sure.
And that's hitting. Thinks he's fucking sick. And I'm like, dude, go outside. And he's like, do what you gotta do. I kept saying that. And then so we fucking, you know, whatever. Like, all right, let's go outside. And it turns into that. So we get outside. And it's really just me. And like a couple of my friends around me. And his friends, like, we're all in the front yard.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, hey, man, fucking get the fuck out of here, you know?
Yeah.
No one even fucking wants you here. Whatever. I'm in the middle of saying something, and Vince isn't there yet. I didn't even know Vince is coming. So I'm telling him, I'm like, man, fuck, you know, I think Vince just pulls up or something and sees, like, my hand pointing at him, or, you know, like, hey, fuck you, or whatever. So by the time I didn't even get near him, Vince clotheslines him. And then he falls. He, like, flopped so hard his arm went flying.
Like Ultimate Warrior clothesline dude?
It was a full-blown clothesline, like, not even a punch. And then he goes flying, and his arm, like, he's so, like, floppy, his arm hits his own girlfriend, like, be next to him. Oh, and they both fucking hit the ground. And then it's like, oh, and then a big fight happens. Is that Rowdy Roy's friends?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so that, whatever. We fight with them, right? Vince chases him up the street with a chain and tells him, this is a good quote, this is corny of Vince. Vince says, you want to fuck with some real hardcore kids? With a fucking chain in his head. So that's pretty corny. But he was right. Whatever. You know what I mean? They were just. It was like
For sure.
metalcore then, you know?
Yeah.
Or fashion people. You know that.
Go back to Soma.
Yeah, that bullshit. So this segues into something where Vince is really dumb though. So that was that fight, whatever. We found out there was a guy, his name was Roddy Roy. That's what people called him. He thought he was cool, whatever. And you know these hardcore dorks.
Yeah.
So one day we're at a bar in Chula Vista, and Vince is like, "Hey, fucking that dude's like on right outside of the pizza place." And we're like, Vince already fucking got him, you know, whatever. Like, he just wanted to drink beer and shit.
He's the dude that Vince clotheslined.
No,
Yeah.
he was one of them. Was it
Yeah,
him?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
it was like him.
So he's like, I'm like, come on, man, whatever. Like, this is a while later.
Yeah.
And Vince
He
like,
already
no.
got him once, man.
Yeah, I already got him, like, whatever.
Well,
Vin-
he was talking shit afterwards.
Of
Okay.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and remember, we chased him another time.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Somewhere else. Anyways, so Vince like, he's out there, and, you know, it's like a few blocks away. I think you were texting me. Vince was texting me, and I'm like, dude, just come on. Like, we just want to have a relax. And this is when, you know, younger and dumber, but still, I was like, man, who cares, man? So Vince's like, no, I'm going to go over there. I'm like, dude, stop. Now you're going to make us have to go, you know, and help you, blah, blah. And by the time, whatever, he didn't say shit. I don't remember what happened, but Vince just shows up and he's just blood coming down his face. Like, I think dude had a ring or something. So Vince fought like 4 of them in front of just attacks the 4 of them in front of the pizza place, so they jump him. And then Vince just shows up to the bar with his head split, the big ass scar to this day. And they got him. But then Vince later got him at a metalcore show, and we had friends there though. Like there was people that like we were cool with, like this dude Jedi from Chula Vista and Mike, just some guys we knew were like at that show.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, he's in here," you know.
Yeah.
And we waited for him, and Vince got him with the mad ball and the sock. Busted his head, and then there's a good quote from that because he was running around an RV from Vince because it was a house show, and then Ben was just like, "Where you running to, boy? Where you running to?" He kept chasing him. This is so long ago that we called Don. Like it was like nowadays, whatever. I don't want to get in a fight ever. Period. In the past 10 years. Yeah. But we were so young, and I guess that makes Don and them so young that Don was there. Like it was an era I would call Don or Ben, and then like, "Hey man, come help us out." And then like now I wouldn't think to ruin someone's day and hey, come help me fight these idiots, you know, like. But it was kind of just a different time or whatever. But that was like 3 stories in one of Vince being a psychotic person.
For the record, the hardcore quote.
I don't know if it's gonna get on here. So you want to take it back?
I just want to make a statement.
Well, wait, hold on. Get in front of the mic.
Counselor,
Your Honor, for the record, that quote is true. But these guys were wearing like Atreyu hoodies and like everything I hated about hardcore, and like I just like that was my hatred of that coming out. Like because it wasn't like nothing punk about those dudes at all. Like it was just like. Black ass hardcore, like it's like you're poisoning the little ass dork,
Which are the people that would go to shows and start fights then. So
right, it wasn't nothing about the bands. I'm sure Atreyu is a good band.
Nah,
I know. You got another one about Goose? Or we want to wrap up?
I got one where Guzman got me really good.
All right, let's tell this one and we'll wrap it up. Unless Goose wants to hit it one more
I
time.
think Goose goes out on top on this one. I'm gonna put him over here.
All right.
I used to work at Albertsons, and I used to get instant cameras developed for free.
Mm-hmm.
I would just do it, And I would always get the film developed with the CD made. So I asked. This is before I had a computer at home. Like the 90s and like late 2000s. So they showed me like, hey, we made you a MySpace profile, and so they used pictures from this disc I had. But the problem is one of those disposable cameras. One of my friends spread his butt cheeks open, and there was a picture of it's straight up his asshole. It's just hairy with his fingers, like spreading. It's like dug into it. Well, they used my friend's picture of his asshole on my MySpace picture, and then they added a bunch of like gay people, and then people thought it was me, and like all these guys were commenting like that's the hottest like. So there's a quote unquote picture that Guzman put up of my asshole, but it's not. It's my other friend's asshole. And you guys are like, that's a real picture. That's like a real asshole. So that's like the kind of guy Guzman, just joking around and shit like that.
The kind of guy.
Nice asshole.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't mine. I can't take credit for it.
You let it stay with that, Goose?
Yeah, I mean, there's a million of Vince fighting every fucking 2 weeks or something, but
Those are like the humorous ones, I think. It's been over 10 years since I've done anything like that. I broke that record recently, but nothing crazy anymore.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up.
because it's dumb.
It is dumb. It is dumb. All right, thanks for listening.